I'm Stanton West, and this is Waupaca Local Live. On a midnight bus, and from a good old boy town, and wheels keep turning as they're leaving downtown, and she is tired of losing and going solo and coming in third in a two-man race. So well, now she's leaving old friends behind, and she's got lots of baggage, and it is so unkind. And black-eyed Susan couldn't sew up her home's old Apache bird. A dark-eyed junco, well, black-eyed Susan couldn't sew up her home's old Apache bird. A dark-eyed junco. I said, you're acting and kinda strange. She said, I always act this way. Her only wish, she had more roots than branches, and so I gave her my number on a book of matches, and she took with her to pass the time a birder's handbook, a field guide, and black-eyed Susan couldn't sew up her home's old Apache bird. A dark-eyed junco, well, black-eyed Susan couldn't sew up her hole's old Apache bird. A dark-eyed junco, and black-eyed Susan couldn't sew up her hole's old Apache bird. A dark-eyed junco.
Hi, welcome to Waupaca Local Live. I'm Wes Powers with Marcy Boku. How are you doing, Marcy?
I'm pretty good. How are you, Wes?
Good, good. Today we got Stanton West in the studio today.
We do.
Give an applause here. You want to kick things off here, Marcy?
Well, sure. That was a great first song. You want to just, first of all, I commend you for whistling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy to do, is it?
No, I actually try to practice every day.
Yeah, because it's really got to be spot on. You did a really good job.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah. Is that, let's just jump in right now. I mean, is that a song off of your new CD?
It is, yeah.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about your CD today.
And what's it called?
It's called Black-Eyed Susan.
And the name of the album it comes from?
Songbird.
Okay. And when was that released?
Well, I'm actually in the middle of a CD release tour right as we speak. So.
Yeah, and you came all the way here in the midst of your tour, and we really appreciate that.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Well, there's it's hard to actually find gigs in the middle of the week, so I tried to fill it in with fun stuff like this, different radio interviews.
Have you been on other radio programs with your tour?
Yep, WDRT and 90 FM.
Dirt?
Dirt, yep.
Do they call it the Dirt?
No, but they said their motto is from the ground up.
So it's kind of implying.
We need a motto.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're in the middle of a tour, so where were you last night?
Last night I was home, actually.
Oh, but
But
before
that I was in St. Paul.
Oh,
And
where in
before
St.
that,
Paul?
the House of Mercy. It's a church there, and so they invited me to come in and do some songs. And,
Nice.
And
it's actually a record label too, out of this church.
Really?
Yeah, and they do. It's run by like the Rowe family singers, and the brothers from the Cactus Blossoms were really integral in getting that going. And,
That's really something, and not to get too off track, but the Twin Cities are really into their local music scene. And there's radio stations that only play 24 hours local music, and it's just a really great supportive thing, and that's sort of what we're trying to start here. Although this is just Waupaca, but...
Yeah. Well, it is Waupaca.
It is Waupaca, not just Waupaca.
It's Waupaca.
Yeah. So we're really glad that you went from the Twin Cities to here. It's really great.
So what's the name of the tour that you're in the midst of?
It's called the Wandering Minstrel Tour.
What's minstrel?
A minstrel is like a folk, like a patchwork folk guy who wanders from town to town.
Oh.
Okay.
Shares his message and his music with all he meets.
And are you doing the tour just by yourself?
No,
Solo?
I'm doing it with a good friend of mine, Teague Alexi,
Okay.
from Duluth, Minnesota.
So do you have a day job?
No, not really.
Okay, so
I
you're
tried
doing this
that. It didn't
full-time.
really work out very well. In fact, I did get a day job once, and one of the songs on the album, Dig a Hole, it was the first song that I wrote after I got this day job. And the first line of the song is, I work too much. And so I knew at that moment it was already over.
Yeah. Well, you are working. You're just working as a musician.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I think it's important for people to realize that musicians are working too.
Yep.
I mean, you're on stage, and for that small period of time, it's great, but there's a lot of work before and after, and then all the promotions and everything like that. So it is a job.
Yeah. I was just telling the producer of the album, Joe Craven, I was talking to him on the phone on the way here, and I was like, yeah, well, basically I'm someone who drives and hauls gear and sets it up and takes it down, and I get to play music every once in a while.
Yeah. Do you have a copy of your CD that we can show? Because
Oh, yeah.
this is not only on the radio, but
Well,
it is on
I
our
do,
cable
right
access
here.
TV station. Look at that. Beautiful cover.
over
Now, who
here.
did the artwork?
His name's Drew Mieske out of Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And
Is he a friend of yours, or did you hire him?
both.
Or both?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's really important for as an artist to pay other artists
Right.
Yeah.
to do work,
Right.
because if I want to get expect to get paid as well. So
That's right.
mhm.
Yeah, I like the bird theme.
Thanks. Yeah, the whole CD is called Songbird, and basically it's a story, and each song is a chapter in the story of an injured bird's migration as it flees the nest, has many adventures among friends and foes, becomes transformed, and then returns back to the nest again.
Wow.
Oh, that's very interesting. Very
All the
insightful.
better for it, hopefully.
That is so cool. So this could actually be promoted to children, or
Yeah.
is it Dirty Bird?
No explicit lyrics.
Okay, so it'd be something that kids could follow as a storyline?
Sure, yeah.
That's really cool. And you have kids, right?
I do. I have a 6-year-old and a 10-year-old.
Okay. Wow. So I think we're talking a lot. We really need to hear some more music. So
Sure.
what are you going to play next?
What am I going to play next? I'm going to play a song called Caravan.
All right, let's have another song from Stanton West.
The campfire glows for the fiddler tonight, and the kids are dancing with the light in their eyes. The night it sparkles for its wandering sons, so it's woven sweaters for everyone. The leaves are falling to the ground, and they're drying, twisted and orange and brown. And I have no home, and I have no king, and open spaces are calling me. Like gypsies on a wagon, hobos on a train, old boat on a river, hippies in a van, in a caravan. Harmonica Joe slings his pack on his back, and the old steel train is a running the track, and he hops on board as the steam whistle blows, chugging through the mountains of Idaho. And the leaves are falling to the ground, and they're dry and twisted and orange and brown. And I have no home, and I have no king, and open spaces are calling me. Like gypsies on a wagon, hobos on a train, old boat on a river, hippies in a van, in a caravan. And I strum my guitar on the river of Diamond. I got a big straw hat 'cause the sun is shining, and I shut my eyes for an hour or two, floating down the river, the old Kickapoo. And the leaves are falling to the ground, and they're dry and twisted and orange and brown. And I have no home, and I have no king, and open spaces are calling me. Like gypsies on a wagon, hobos on a train, old boat on a river, hippies in a van, in a caravan. And I'm riding the highway in my captain's chair. I got the tunes cranked up, I got the wind in my hair. The road is long, and I'm driving slow through the sagebrush deserts down to Mexico. And the leaves are falling to the ground, and they're dry and twisted and orange and brown. And I have no home, and I have no aching and open spaces are calling me. Like gypsies on a wagon, oboes on a train, old boat on a river, hippies in a van, in a Dodge Caravan.
Welcome back to Waupaca Local Live. In the studio, we have Stanton West, and so Stanton, you've been all over the United States, Washington, California, Alaska. You're in the middle of a tour we talked about earlier. You're a co-founder of Wisconsin Roots Cooperative and other sort of things. You want to talk about that a little bit?
About the cooperative?
Yes.
Sure. What's funny about that, Wisconsin Roots Music Cooperative, the acronym for that is WORM Co-op. So
WORM Co-op.
It goes with the DRT.
DRT, right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, that's something that my friend Eddie Nix and I started.
Yeah, I know Eddie.
And he owns Driftless Books and Music.
Yep.
Is that in Montello?
It's in Viroqua.
Viroqua. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And there's 500,000 books there and about 100 shows a season. There's no heat, so there's no shows in the winter. Actually, this Sunday is the last show of the season there.
Okay.
And then we made a recording studio upstairs, and we do live session videos similar to what we're doing here, actually. Called the Bookstore Sessions.
Are we doing it right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We use condenser mics and have cool backgrounds. So, and
This is a cool background.
lots of light helps.
Yeah.
It seems like you got your hand in a lot of things.
Yeah.
I read on the internet. Feel Good Music Arts Festival, Renewsical.
The
Renewsical?
Renewsical. That was a musical about renewable energy.
I think Marcy wanted to touch on that a little
Yeah.
bit.
So you did that at Amherst?
Yeah, I performed that. It debuted at the Energy Fair
Right.
in 2010.
Okay.
And then I took it on tour, and we did a Midwest tour, and then laid it to rest for a couple years, and then we performed it again at the Energy Fair with the Tomorrow River Community Charter School,
Oh, okay.
with the students there.
Nice. When was that?
Mhm. That was 2 years ago now, I
Okay.
think. Yep.
Huh. That's really cool.
And so, yeah, I got a grant from the EPA to write a musical that promoted the benefits of renewable energy.
Neat.
Oh,
That's really cool.
Do you do I read also you do a marionette puppet show kind of thing for, tell us about that.
So that's a sea-themed marionette puppet show. So I found a 100-year-old pump organ that it's basically a foot-powered pump
Right.
organ. I call it my off-grid organ.
Is that like a big like church organ?
They do.
thing?
That is what you would think of, but this one actually was portable, and it collapses into itself, and it turns into a suitcase, and you can carry it around. And it has this sea theme sound to it. And I got it at an auction in Ashland, and it used to be on one of the big ships that's was up in
Was it
Lake
on the
Superior.
Edmund Fitzgerald? No, because that sunk.
That's not. Well, maybe the pump if it floated. So the captain and the clergyman on the ship would play it, and then I acquired it and was inspired to write all these songs. I wrote a song about a Viking and a mermaid and a sea hag and a pirate and a narwhal, and then I had all these collection of songs. So I put it to a story. You know, you meet all these different characters, and then I commissioned a puppet maker friend of mine out of Winona to create these marionette puppets for each of the songs.
Huh. And do you still do that show ever?
I haven't. Well, I did it 3 times this summer,
Okay.
and usually I have my daughters do the puppet
Okay.
thing. I do over the summer solstice, I do a week of farmers markets shows, like a farmers market tour. So I'll play like 7 farmers markets in a row, and oftentimes the farmers markets want the puppet show.
All right. Yeah. I like to have.
I'm sure the kids love that too. You know, I mean the puppets and.
Yeah, they're a little scary. They're definitely. They have a twistedness to them, which is fun. Which is why I like Dr. Bob, the puppeteer's work so much.
Huh.
Because it's not howdy doody or
Right.
like something goofy.
Right.
It's it's something that it makes you wonder a little bit.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it's more adult theme, maybe.
Everything I do, I feel like, is family friendly.
Yeah.
It can be. It's kind of like what I do with music and entertainment is I try to like be like a Shrek movie, where I'm entertaining for just like any age group.
Yeah.
Throw in a few like
Yeah.
witty remarks and
That it goes
Right.
above the kids' heads a little
right,
bit.
but adults can enjoy it.
Well, it makes it
on that
tolerable
level.
for the adults
Right.
too.
Mhm.
Right. Exactly. Can I ask you about your name?
Yes, please.
So you're Stanton.
So I'm Stanton
West.
West, and which is a new thing. This is my new album out as Stanton West.
Okay.
And so for many years before that, I performed as Eddie Danger, or the Reverend Eddie Danger.
Right.
And I guess the change came, I just wanted to be, it's funny because people think I changed my name, but Eddie Danger is actually not my real name.
Right.
And so, but Stanton is my middle name.
Okay.
And so I wanted to play music that I wanted to play and be more authentic that way, but also be more authentic. So in changing my name, I'm actually becoming more of who I am.
Right.
I feel like instead of
Okay.
being someone else, I'm actually becoming this,
Kind
me.
of coming back to yourself.
To me, yeah.
Right.
And so Stanton, I was named after my grandfather, Stanton West. And so
Wow.
it's also a tribute to him.
Oh.
Yeah.
And is he still alive?
No.
Okay.
So what is your real first name?
Edward Eddie
Eddie.
Stanton Lamar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, well, you've done a lot of interesting things. You rode your bike from Canada to Mexico, I
Yep.
read.
Yeah. with
Is
my
that
wife.
true?
Yep.
How long did that take?
A little over a month.
A month?
Yeah.
Wow, that doesn't seem like a lot of time.
No. It seems
No,
like
we
you
were
like we're
doing-
seriously biking.
75 miles a day.
Oh,
about.
jeez.
Wow.
Wow.
So
And
I'm not sure why. I was looking for adventure.
was it like the Forrest Gump thing where you just started running and
No, I was working at a summer camp up north
Yeah.
with my wife and girlfriend at the time, and we
Your
just
wife
made
and
all
your
this.
girlfriend?
No, she was my wife to be. My girlfriend, who was my wife to be.
Okay.
And this next song I'm gonna play, by the way, is about her and I and how we met. And we had some extra money in our pockets and nowhere to go, and we were like, well, we could try out the real world, or we could take a train out to the West Coast and start biking until we ran out of money.
nice?
So that's what we did. And then we ran out of money, so we ended up in San Francisco Bay area for about a year.
Oh.
San
wow.
Francisco is not a good place to run out of money either because it's very expensive. to
Right.
live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, we knew some people there. And
Well, that's good.
They helped us out.
Mm.
Wonderful.
So you're going to play a song about your wife.
Yep.
All right.
And it's kind of the story of how we met.
Oh, okay. Great. What's it called?
Ray of Sunshine.
Ah.
All right. So,
All right.
ladies and gentlemen, Stanton West.
I can tell you're in a room by the sound of your laugh, and I'll always remember the day that we met. I had a watermelon, we were at a potluck. It was Halloween, and we fell in love. You are my best friend, and my greatest lover. You're cooking in the kitchen, and my biggest supporter, and you love to dance on your little feet. You're not afraid to laugh out loud, and you care about the trees. You are so crafty, content and happy. I'm getting sappy, shining all the time. And I love your family, and I think you're funny. You call me honey, and you're my ray of sunshine. I can tell you're in a room by the sound of your laugh, and I'll always remember the day that we met. I had a watermelon, we were at a potluck. It was Halloween, and we fell in love. You keep my fire burning, you're always learning. You see the good in everyone, and you can read a map. You are hardworking, your body is curvy. You always smell of coconut, and you're gentle yet tough. You are so crafty, content and happy. I'm getting sappy, shining all the time. And I love your family, and I think you're funny. You call me honey, and you're my ray of sunshine. You call me honey, and you're my ray of sunshine. Sweet as honey, you're my ray of sunshine.
In the studio, we got Stanton West. Yeah.
We do.
And we want to talk again about your album, but there's a couple more things, kind of goofy things I wanted to talk about of your personal life and whatever. But I read that you lived in 3 different tree houses before. Is that true?
Yeah. I lived in a tree house in Trout Lake, Washington, at the base of Mount Adams, near the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest.
Wow.
And then I lived in a treehouse in Olympia, Washington, when I was going to school at the Evergreen State College.
Oh, there's a few people from around here who've gone
Oh
to
yeah,
Evergreen.
it's a great school.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard of that.
And then the other one was up in Alaska, in Cordova, Alaska, in this place called Hippie Cove. And I was there for the summer, actually, I have a biology degree, and I was doing bird research on migratory and nesting birds of the Cordova River Valley. And then I had a side job taking a National Geographic photographer around and helping him find certain birds that he was looking for during the shorebird migration.
So you have a huge interest in birds, obviously.
I do, yeah.
Is there a word for that? Someone who studies
a birder.
birds? A birder?
I say bird nerd sometimes.
nerd?
Yeah.
Ornithologist.
Yeah, an ornithologist would be the.
Ornithologist?
Ornithologist.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Huh.
But there's people that are really into it. I have friends
my
that
husband's really into birds.
they don't wear necklaces; they wear binoculars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, you're definitely just the most diversely artistic person I think we've had on the show.
Yeah.
Don't you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, and you have your hands in multiple things, and
We should give him the keys to the city.
yeah,
Henry.
talk to that guy over there.
Or how about Stanton West Day?
Stanton
Yeah.
West Day.
Or Stanton West the drink.
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
7-Up and bitters with a cherry in it.
With a cherry in
It's
it.
called, and then if you want it with booze, it's called William North with whiskey.
William North.
But the Stanton West is the drink.
Yeah,
Nice.
and we're going to drink that without a straw.
No straws.
No straws, unless it's a reusable.
100 gabillion pounds of straws a year
Right.
get thrown into our landfill.
That sounds like a lot.
It is. That's
100 billion?
It's
yep,
shocking.
that's like a Trump figure
Yeah.
or an untruth.
It's a bigly number.
Yeah.
Big.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I want to mention one more kind of off thing, but you are a left-handed person,
Yes.
is that correct?
Correct.
And you play your guitar left-handed, which the radio people can't see, but if you watch this on our wonderful cable access TV, you will see that he's playing it left-handed, but he hasn't tuned the string, he hasn't strung it left-handed.
No,
So
I play
it's quite
a right-hand
confusing.
guitar upside down.
Yeah, and who else did that?
Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix did that?
And-
Elizabeth Cotton.
Yeah.
She wrote Freight Train.
Okay,
She was also, I'm blanking. Never
okay.
mind.
All right. Well, it's just very interesting as a musician to watch somebody do that. It's really cool. Your brain must be really different.
So they say.
Now the person didn't you say that somebody from St. Paul taught you how to do that?
Yeah, so I was just in St. Paul and met up with Eric Brandt, who he and I worked at that camp I was talking about together 20
Okay.
years ago before I did my bike trip. And he was the music, I was leading backcountry trips, and he was the music
Oh, the music guy.
person. And so when I had time, I'd go over there and he would say, and we figured it out together, like he would say, oh, to play an A, you need to press here, here, and here.
Right.
And we would figure out the most comfortable way to do that, and then I would play an A.
Now this isn't the guy that produced your CD, right?
No,
Okay, so who's that?
Joe Craven.
Okay.
And he lives out in California.
Okay.
And he was the percussionist and the fiddle player on all 7 of the David Grisman and Jerry Garcia albums that were put out on David Grisman's
Wow.
label, Acoustic Disc. So he's just an amazing player and an amazing human being. And so I'm going to be doing some shows with him in Wisconsin, actually coming up at the Stoughton Opera House on December 2nd, Saturday.
Okay. Okay.
Was
So
he-
that's near Madison, right?
Yep,
Stoughton?
Stoughton Opera House is
It's
near
kind of a
Madison.
really nice room, I heard.
It's
Yeah.
really beautiful.
Wow. Oh,
I actually did the Christmas variety show there last year
okay.
with the People Brothers Band, and they had some other engagements. And the Stoughton Opera House asked me to put together a holiday variety show, and so the first person I thought of was, I have to have Joe Craven
Nice.
come play. Get him out to Wisconsin. He was really excited about cheese curds and finding a new styrofoam cheese hat because his is disintegrated. He got a top hat and now he wants a bowler.
I've seen the bowler.
Have you?
Yes.
He'll be happy to know they
Yeah.
exist.
Any airport in Wisconsin, you
Yeah.
can buy that, yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's exciting. So you've got the Jensen Center this Saturday,
Yep.
and where else are you going to be playing between then and Stoughton, December 2nd?
Yeah, we'll be in St. Cloud, Minnesota,
Okay. Oh, yeah.
and and then the big Stoughton gig.
Okay. And where can we get your CD?
You can locally around here. It's at Radio Chaos in Stevens Point.
Okay. Is it at the
Um,
bookseller in Waupaca?
No, but
You might
maybe
wanna
it should be.
connect up. Yeah, we'll
Mhm.
connect you up to that.
And then otherwise, StantonWest.net.
.net.
Yeah,
.net.
yeah.
Of course, if you put Stanton West in the Google Dealy Bob, it'll
Yeah.
still come up,
Yep.
right?
hmm
So,
And you can listen to stuff on there. I have a YouTube channel. I've got Instagram and the Facebook.
yep, Facebook. You got it all.
Yeah.
That's
No, I don't
awesome.
do Twitter anymore. Because I was Eddie Danger, and I had Eddie Danger accounts, and I had the Stanton West accounts. Then I had the Wisconsin Roots Music Cooperative account, and
Too
it was
much.
just too much social media, and so
Not
I
good
just
for your kids to see you on that screen all the time either.
no.
Right.
No.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else?
Oh, I think you covered it.
You guys are great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. You going to do one more song for us?
I certainly will.
All right.
Okay.
Stanton West.
was a three-ring circus on the outskirts of town. There were devils and lions and foxes all around, and down in the holler there stood an old cabin. There lived a white-feathered heron with the temper of a dragon, and he smoked his hooch from bones made from a rabbit. That rabbit gave him trouble. Now that rabbit's gone and had it. There were spiders in the windows in that cabin down the hill, where I aged 100 years and I barely lived at all. And the horses ran away. They were all made of wood, and I ran with them, though I swore I never would. 'Cause when you want it so bad that you can't be happy without it, and then you get it, you don't want it, you don't even care about it. When you want it so bad that you can't be happy without it, and then you get it, you don't want it, you don't even care about it all. Oh, 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 oh. Now I'm long gone, and those spiders haven't left, and there's songbirds in their webs, and birds don't fly when they're dead. Would you take heaven on earth if you walk through hell to get it? And the fire that melts butter melts steel and then bends it. Oh, and I was down and out, so I'm heading up and in. And the place that I'm going, well, I don't believe in sin, and I never been a hunter, though I often like to gather. I don't like the sight of blood, I don't like the smell of battle. And there were spiders in the windows in that cabin down the hill, where I aged 100 years and I barely lived at all. And the horses ran away, they were all made of wood, and I ran with them, though I swore I never would. 'Cause when you want it so bad that you can't be happy without it, and then you get it, you don't want it, you don't even care about it. When you want it so bad that you can't be happy without it, and then you get it, you don't want it, you don't even care about it. When you want it so bad that you can't be happy without it, and then you get it, you don't want it, you don't even care about it.
Well, that about does it for another edition of Waupaca Local Live. I'm Wes Powers with
Merci beaucoup.
and our special guest, Stanton West. Just like to thank Mark and Chris and Wayne and Josh, all behind the scenes, and Marcy with her public service announcement here.
Well, we kind of had our public service announcement. No straws. We do not need straws in our drinks, ladies and gentlemen. And thanks to, actually, I just want to put a plug in. There are a couple local establishments that are actually not using straws, so we're making an impact.
And you can actually, bring your own straw too.
That's
you know,
right.
people bring your own coffee mug. You could be one of those people that bring your own straw.
That's
They have
right.
stainless steel ones. They got plastic ones. They have ones made out of narwhal horns.
Yeah, you bring your beer helmet in with the straws, you know.
That's
but,
true.
Oh yeah.
Or the backpack.
Yeah, backpack.
But the point is no disposables.
Yeah, and don't kill any endangered species. I was just kidding about the narwhal.
Well, thanks so much for coming to the show, and
My
we'll look
pleasure.
forward to hearing more from you in all different venues, and good luck at your shows that are coming up and with your CD. It's awesome.
Yep.
Thanks.
All right, thanks everybody. Awesome.